your bank statement is more revealing than your diary. The resistance that you feel towards looking at your own finances is not a logistics problem. It's not a time problem, it's a frequency problem. Money is not separate from you. Money is in a relationship with you, and like any relationship, the way you treat it, that's all reflected back at you. The 72-hour woman, she gets paid, and normally within 3 days, the money is essentially gone. Not on bills, not on investments, just dispersed. You cannot address a behavioral pattern without addressing the belief that's underneath it. You can cut the subscriptions, you can cancel the Uber Eats, you can do everything right on paper. But at the end of the day, welcome to Rich and Regulated, where women learn to build wealth in alignment and flow. I'm Jessica Soul. For over a decade, I've helped women create the lives of their dreams, and here I'll share how I build wealth, fast-track results, and reveal money truths that will blow your mind. Let's get wealthy. I have sat with hundreds of women over the last decade and looked inside of their bank statements. And I can tell you right now, your bank statement is more revealing than your diary. Most people think financial struggles are a math problem, and I'm telling you that your bank statement is a mirror showing you exactly what you fear, what you avoid, and the toxic relationship you're actually in with your money. My name is Jess, and I went from $150,000 in debt to a 7-figure crypto portfolio. And today I'm taking you inside of the actual bank statements of 100 broke women. We're breaking down the 7 psychological spending patterns that keep you stuck and how to finally fix the root cause so that you can actually start building wealth. Here's the first thing that happens when I suggest to a woman that we look at her bank statement together. She goes quiet, and then she says one of a handful of things. It's okay, I'm not really a numbers person, or I just don't have the capacity for that right now. Oh, I know it's bad, I just can't look at it. You know what? I'll do it when things settle down. And here's what I want you to understand. The resistance that you feel towards looking at your own finances is not a logistics problem. It's not a time problem. It's definitely not an intelligence problem. It's a frequency problem. It is your nervous system doing everything in its power to protect you from information that might crack open a story that you've been telling yourself for a very long time. Because at the end of the day, the truth about money that nobody wants to say out loud is that money is not separate from you. Money is in a relationship with you, and like any relationship, the way you treat it, the way you speak about it, the way you avoid it or cling to it or disrespect it, that's all reflected back at you. And I can tell you, you would never share a bed with someone who disrespected you. You would never stay in a relationship built on avoidance, shame, and silence. But that's exactly the relationship that most women have with their money. It's distant, it's uncomfortable, it's unexamined. And that dynamic, that toxic pattern between a woman and her finances is the single biggest roadblock standing between her and the wealth that she says she wants. And you cannot invest what you do not understand. You cannot grow what you're scared to look at. And you cannot build exponential wealth in crypto or anywhere else when you and your money are essentially estranged. And so when you feel like money is something that happens to you rather than something you are in a relationship with, this is the work that has to happen first. And this is what I see when I actually sit with the numbers. Let me walk you through the women that I meet most often. And as I describe these, I want you to notice which one makes your stomach drop a little bit, because that is probably your archetype. So let's talk about pattern number 1, the 72-hour woman. She gets paid, and normally within 3 days, the money is essentially gone. Not on bills, not on investments, just dispersed. A coffee here, an Uber Eats there, something for the kids, something she really needed, something that was on sale. And normally by day 3, she's back to zero or very close. And she genuinely doesn't know how it happened. And I can tell you, if this is you, this isn't carelessness. This is a nervous system that cannot hold abundance. And somewhere along the way, she's learned that money doesn't stay. And so her body moves it out before she can take it. And to her, This feels like freedom. But what it actually is a loop that she cannot see because she's inside of it. All right, so pattern number 2 is the hoarder. And so the hoarder on the surface looks really responsible. She spends almost nothing. But look closer and you'll see she buys things and returns them. She adds to cart and then abandons the cart. Gets things delivered, sends them back. Has money sitting completely still in accounts, earning nothing because she cannot bring herself to move it anywhere. And this is scarcity so deep that it's become her identity. Money feels dangerous to spend and it feels terrifying to invest. And so instead it sits there, not growing, not working, not building anything. And she calls it being careful. Okay, pattern number 3, the subscription graveyard. This one gets almost everybody. 12, 15, sometimes 20 reoccurring charges for things that she has completely forgotten about. Streaming services she doesn't watch, apps she's opened once, memberships that she joined in a moment of motivation. Each one is tiny. $9.99 here, $14.99 there. But quietly and consistently across a year, they're bleeding thousands of dollars that she could swear she doesn't have. All right, pattern number 4, the values mismatch. And I can tell you, ladies, you're going to want to sit down because this one cuts the deepest. She tells me she can't afford a holiday this year, and she genuinely believes that. And then I look at the statement and I see $300 a month on anti-wrinkle injections, $400 a month in small clothing purchases, $200 a month on Uber Eats, $150 in cocktails, and $80 worth of coffee runs. That's over $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. It's a holiday plus some, multiple holidays, completely gone. And I want to be really clear. I'm not saying that any of these individual things that she's spending on are wrong. What I'm saying is that there is a profound disconnection between what she says she values and what her bank statement shows that she values. And that gap, that story she is telling herself about not having enough, that story is a lie. A very convincing, very well-rehearsed lie. But at the end of the day, it's a lie. Pattern number 5. The cycle spender. When you look at enough statements, you start to see timing patterns, spending that clusters around certain days of the month. And for women specifically, you can sometimes genuinely track a hormonal cycle through a bank statement. I am not kidding you. So increased spending in the luteal phase, impulse purchases that spike quite predictably, not because women are irrational, but because our cycles affect our nervous system state, and our nervous system state drives our financial behavior. This is real. It matters, and I can tell you nobody is talking about it. Pattern number 6, the controlled wallet. The woman whose spending is tight and restricted, who might receive an allowance or manage only a small portion of the household money. She's buying things for the kids and rarely for herself. Her bank statement doesn't tell me much about her spending habits, but it tells me everything about her financial autonomy or the lack of it. Just quickly, guys, if you're a woman who's earning well but still feels like your money isn't working for you, I can help. My Build Your Wealth portal is the perfect place to begin, and for less than $100 a month, I'll teach you the exact groundwork that has allowed me to create freedom for my family. Just hit the link in the show notes to connect into my community today. Now back to the episode. All right. Let's talk about pattern number 7, the trauma spender. So this is the one I want to sit with for a moment because it's the most misunderstood pattern. She buys things that she doesn't need as emotional regulation. She's the little girl who was told no too many times growing up, and now she says yes to everything she can reach because having things feels like safety. It's like proof that she's okay, like a small act of reclaiming something that was always being withheld. Or sometimes it's quite the opposite, this entitled energy. The woman who moves through spending with this kind of quiet fury, like a sense that the world owes her something and she is collecting. Neither of these is a character flaw, but both of these are unprocessed wounds that are playing out inside of a bank account. And here's what breaks my heart with this one. I'll sit with a woman and I can see she's been investing in mentors and programs and coaching for years, probably tens of thousands of dollars. But she's not implementing what anyone has taught her. The spend has become a substitute for the transformation. She's buying a feeling of doing something without doing the thing, and she knows it. She just hadn't had anyone see it clearly enough to tell her. And that's what every single one of these patterns has in common. They are all held in a place by a story, a deeply ingrained, highly convincing story about money, about self-worth, about safety, and about what's possible for her specifically. You've heard it before, right? Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not a numbers person. I'll sort this all out when I earn more. I just need to get through this season. I just don't have the capacity right now. These are not excuses, they're genuine beliefs. They've been absorbed over decades, passed down through family lines, reinforced by every experience this woman has had with money going wrong. And here's the brutal truth. You cannot address a behavioral pattern without addressing the belief that's underneath it. You can cut the subscriptions, you can cancel the Uber Eats, you can do everything right on paper. But at the end of the day, if the underlying frequency has not shifted and if the story hasn't changed, you will find your way back into the same pattern within weeks. Because the pattern isn't the problem, the pattern is the symptom. And this is the roadblock. This is the thing standing between you and you actually building wealth. Because you cannot invest what you cannot hold, and you cannot take strategic risk in crypto or anywhere else when you can't even figure out how to rearrange your relationship with the morning coffee run. The exponential wealth is on the other side of this work, not before it, after it. So, how do you actually do this work without spending hours drowning in spreadsheets, sitting across from someone who's making you feel ashamed? Well, I built something for you, and it's called Wealth AI. And I want to be really honest about what this is. This is not a budgeting app. And this is not a generic finance tool. I have trained it with my voice, my psychology background, my understanding of brain biology and trauma, my decade of watching what financial shame and guilt and deep money wounds actually look like inside of a real woman's bank account. It carries everything I know about why women relate to money the way they do, and it uses that to show you your own patterns with clarity that most women have never had access to. This app is private, it's completely confidential, and it keeps your autonomy completely intact. And it does all of this work for you in under 10 minutes. What used to take me over an hour and a full session to uncover, it will now look at your statement the way I would. It won't judge you, but it will reveal to you what you need to see, because you cannot change what you cannot see. And most women have been operating blind for a very long time. Wealth AI is the first step, and the link is below. And if you're sitting with something that this episode brought up for you and want to be around women who are doing the work alongside of you, come and join us inside of Crypto for Women. Over 350 of us now. It's completely free, real conversations, and the link for that is below too. Your relationship with money is a relationship, and it deserves the same attention, the same honesty, and the same willingness to do the hard work that you'd bring to any other relationship in your life that matters. It's time to take a look. If you've gotten value from today's episode, make sure you subscribe and leave a 5-star review. And if you're ready for more support in building regulated wealth strategies, check out the link in the show notes. Have a beautiful day.